just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Boy, do I have a versus video for you today. From the Alienware Aliens to the Samsung Odyssey. Today I'm gonna versus the Alienware AW3225QF QD OLED Gen 3 panel versus one of my top 5 gaming monitors of all time, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 Mini LED Powerhouse. For the majority of the video, we are testing this in HDR, as that's where the Alienware shines, with that peak HDR 1000. The highlights look really good, and I doubt you're gonna find better. From that glossy coating to that pixel-perfect OLED technology, let's see if Mini LED can give it a run for its money, or does it fall flat? Now I do have set up both of these monitors with all the brightness features. Now on the Alienware, it's a set preset with that peak HDR 1000, while on the Samsung, they give you a lot more control. You can still control the black equalizer, the contrast enhancer, the brightness and color. Hopefully in the future, Alienware with a new firmware update will allow us to control more of the monitor. But this is a versus video, and that's tough luck for them. I'm not gonna hide that brightness truth, and you'll be able to see it in today's video. So please hit that like button, friends, so more people can see it, to know the differences, to help them make that awesome buying decision. And consider subscribing if you want to see more videos just like this one, here only on Victor's Reality. Here showcasing glossy on the Alienware on the left, versus that ultra matte on the Samsung on the right. For whatever reason, Samsung decided to go with an ultra matte coating, not a semi-gloss like the Neo G7 or even OG G7, not even with a Vaseline look like the 27GS95QE, but we'll get to that in another video. This is ultra matte, the mattest screen I've ever seen, and now we're going to compare it to a glossy screen. Just remember, on the left we're at 1700R curvature, and on the right we're at 1000, so it's curvier on the Samsung. Now glossy or matte, I don't really care. The picture looks amazing on both monitors, and as I'm panning here with Alan Wake, I was able to notice, because I have them side by side, that shimmer of the Neo G8. And I say that unfortunately, because when you have them side by side like this, it's apparent. It's bothersome. I never really realized it because I usually game on one monitor. I mean, you're not going to game with Alan Wake like this. You pick the monitor that you want to play on, and you enjoy the experience. But side by side, panning, it's not going to come off that drastic on the camera. And I wouldn't call it drastic, but I can see it. So comparing it to the Alienware, yes, the Alienware QD OLED is clearer. It looks cleaner. Well, on the Neo G8, now I can see it does look dirty when they're side by side. That pearl shimmer really is distracting when you see how clean and clear the glossy monitor looks. Now number 2, Mini LED introduces blooming. This is the Xbox gaming menu. The OLED on the left looks pixel perfect, while on the right, on the Mini LED, look at that general TV and display options section. That halo, that bloom of the brightness. There's not enough zones to be pixel perfect. I mean, they need millions of zones to match OLED. I mean, you can really see it more on the left, but trust me, it's all over the place. And I've only been able to see it in this specific menu, or if you're browsing YouTube. Now this is SDR, and I love the Neo G8 because SDR looks like HDR. But I do gotta show you the differences. But it is what it is with the technology. Now, not everything's perfect with a glossy screen. Again, glossy on the left, ultra matte on the right. Now what I have here is in front of the monitor, I have the LG 32GQ950, 400 to 430 nits in SDR mode, and I'm watching a small YouTube video in a small box. And that's that warping, that reflection of a glossy screen. Now QD OLED technology, Gen 3 panels, have built-in anti-reflective properties. I don't call that semi-gloss. This is a glossy screen, especially when you compare it to this ultra matte, which is super matte, right? But earlier in the week, I tried to record this video, not thinking that the reflection that I'm seeing, that warp of the image, was this monitor, the LG. And you wouldn't believe it. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I got dizzy. Something just didn't feel right, so I had to stop recording. And I did it again the next day, and I felt the same way. What I'm trying to say is that warp of the image really is dizzying. and you really have to see where you're going to position this glossy monitor. I mean, common sense, a person that has a glossy monitor wouldn't do this. But again, I didn't know that's what was causing it. So make sure you have controlled lighting, because reflection of a window, a lamp, a TV, or a monitor, you may not know it, but that could be causing the distortion, the warping of the image. And since now we're getting monitors with this glossy screen, it's something that we do have to take note. And as you can see, the Ultra Matte handles it perfectly. Now going with some more images here, I will freeze frame it when there's something I want to point out. But both of these images look really good. You can easily see though, the Neo G8 just pops more. I do have contrast enhancer enabled. We're going 100% with each of the monitors. We're not going to hold anything back. If presets change with a firmware update, of course, I'll make another versus video. But as of now, you can clearly see the Neo G8 has that brightness advantage. Now Peak HDR 1000 really gives you that highlight power, but it does sacrifice some brightness on the overall image. True Black 400 would give you a brighter image overall, but cap everything at 400. And that's why sometimes this Alienware really stands out versus the Neo G8, and sometimes it really falls behind. But one thing I will say, the clarity of the glossy screen and this pixel perfect OLED screen, yes, the Alienware comes up clearer and sharper. Now here we're going to stress test. While this is in HDR mode, you can clearly see the Alienware is going to struggle a bit, not on the peak highlights, but in the overall image. And that's why you can't count the Neo G8 out. I would say most of the time, 60-40, the Neo G8 wins on the overall image. Look at the colors, look at that brightness. Sharpness is about the same. I mean, I will give the edge to the Alienware, but in no way does this Ultra Matte look dull, washed, or trashy versus the glossy screen. That's just false. You can clearly see it here, friends. Your eyes don't lie. It really looks sharp, it really looks crisp. It's just that the glossy screen and the QD OLED technology looks better. It's simple as that. But when it comes to that brightness, or their lack thereof, you can clearly see the differences. I mean, that's one of the problems with the OLED technology. Look at the snow. Now, if you do see some kind of purplish haze on the left side, that's just how the camera is recording it, as these are completely different technologies, QD OLED versus Mini LED. But a lot of the times, they come out equal. I just know you're going to have a great experience on either monitor in HDR mode. Now here with Need for Speed Unbound, playing this game, I really couldn't believe the highlights on the Alienware. That Peak 1000 truly has highlight power. And honestly, if I'm playing this game, my eyes just tend to lean to the left. It looks better, sharper, brighter because of those highlights. And that's what really stands out. That brightness highlight, the peaks. It looks more 3D, more dimensional. While the OLED G8, I mean, there's more brightness overall, but it's just that the Alienware looks clearer. You really need to see it to know what I'm talking about. The peak highlights in HDR mode on the QD OLED wins every time. Now we've covered some videos and some gameplay. Let's get into some patterns and some testing. Look how bright the circle is on the Alienware. That's that pixel perfect technology. While on the Mini LED, it's trying to ramp up, but it can't get that bright because then it would be crazy blooming. And the algorithm is smart, but it's limited. So right here, those peak highlights, or the smaller the highlight, the better, easily the QD OLED wins. And as the image gets bigger, this is still small enough for it to be a little bit brighter. Now with more circles, still the QD OLED is winning. But as we get to some more, it knows that it can't get that bright anymore. So it has to dim it down a bit. Now they look a little bit equal, while the Neo G8 is pulling ahead by a tad bit. The more circles, meaning the more pixels that are lit up on the QD OLED, the dimmer it gets. Now this is what I would call a 2% window. You can clearly see the QD OLED is brighter. The QD OLED on the left, that line is very bright. OLED wins on those fast transitions. But as we get to the full image, yes, this is not a 2% window. I would say about 20%. And the Mini LED is brighter, while the QD OLED is at its limit. And with the more windows we get, Mini LED pulls ahead, is brighter, and it looks more impactful. Both of these monitors are really good. I mean, in HDR mode, when I compare it to this QD OLED, the Neo G8 can really hold its own. We're talking about real-world usage, not no fake angles, just to prove a point. Real-world usage. The Neo G8 is one of the best gaming monitors on the market today. But this Neo G8 cannot beat that glossy clarity, the pixel-perfect OLED technology, the transitions, and those HDR peak highlights you've seen today. The peak highlights are brighter on the Alienware. From Alan Wake to Need for Speed, it's just much more impactful on the Alienware. But that's with Peak HDR 1000. If you put it to True Black or in SDR mode, personally I would prefer the Neo G8 all day. But that's why I got QD OLED. I want to experience HDR, and I'm just gonna leave it on peak HDR mode. You might not like that the overall image is less bright, so you might prefer True Black HDR 400. Again, try all the modes, see what you like. Your eyes don't lie. Both of these monitors can be had at a great price. You get that 3-year burn-in warranty on the Alienware QD OLED. And on a Neo G7 or Neo G8, you can have them for a great price. The prices are dropping. This Gen 3 technology is more durable. Plus you get that burn-in warranty regardless, so keep it at the brightness you want, the HDR mode that you want, and just enjoy your monitor. I mean, I haven't really been enjoying my gaming monitors. I usually make these videos. I gotta start playing some more. So if you want to check back every Saturday and Sunday, I will be showcasing a new gaming monitor, playing a variety of games, probably 1 game a day. Links will be in the description, in case you're interested in checking them out. If you use those links, they help me bring technology to you faster than ever, and I would truly appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel, as these things are very expensive, you can help me out by becoming a YouTube member. A like or a comment truly goes a long way, friends, so please don't forget to do that. The golden era of QD OLED gaming monitors has just arrived. While it doesn't destroy mini LED, HDR highlight peak power looks really good. But in SDR mode, mini LED or other types of monitors really do have their place. But many more versus videos, friends, are coming up. Different brands, different coatings, different games, and different videos. Always, friends, to help you make that awesome buying decision. Please leave a comment down below on which one you think wins today. I'm really interested to hear your opinion. The future is looking very bright, and we have a lot of options to choose from. And at the end of the day, we can't lose. Thanks for watching, friends. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys next time.